No more show late night, nothing but illustrious guests tonight.
That's right, you trash bags.
Coming to the table, we got director extraordinaire. You might know him from such videos as Excuse Me, Miss.
You know what I'm saying? King Kunta, Hotline Bling, Hot and Her. You know what I'm saying? That's how Nelly said it. And there's just a few of his amazing videos in his catalog, which is deep as fuck.
His feature film debut, Superfly, is in theaters on June 13th. Let's make some noise for Director X. Come to the table. Woo!
Yes,
first
sir.
things first, Brampton in the house.
Brampton, B-Town.
B-Town. What was it like growing up in Brampton?
Brampton was, you know, off the beaten path. It was, you know, while you're there, you hate it. And then you grow up and you're still like, all right, well,
You still hate it?
Brampton, I don't hate it. I mean, it's where I'm from, but
Right.
Brampton be taking a lot of flack lately from these new kids in Toronto. They be hating.
Yeah, I've seen it.
B-Town.
We did some shows in Toronto.
Yeah.
Brampton was, you know,
Yeah,
y'all rivals or?
Not I mean, it's just the butt of, you know, because Brampton, so here's Toronto, and then even here's Saga, here's Scarborough, everything's kind of lined up, and then here's Brampton. You know what I mean? So it's kind of off to the...
Beaten rails.
Yeah, it's off there, but, you know, Russell Peters from Brampton, I'm from Brampton, there's a couple of Brampton people, yeah, man. And it's not Brampton, Brampton.
Brampton.
And it sounds kind of like Compton, too, so it's like more, you know what I'm saying? It feels more thugged out.
Well, that was kind of a little, Brampton at the same place it used to be. You know, there's that mark where white folks are like, and...
All right, bring it in. Bring it
Time for us to go.
Let's go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, we hit that line, and then you know the Tuggy Tugs left the city and kind of set up shop. In
Right.
Brampton. So the Brampton's just a whole new scenario now.
Gotcha.
Word.
But being in Brooklyn talking about Brampton is a first.
You know what I'm saying? Top left.
There you go, Francis Mars. So now listen, you had your fingers involved in one of the most iconic movies ever in the history of cinematography, Belly.
Yeah.
Classical.
Classic movie. What was your role in that?
I drew the storyboards. I mean, but like just like anything Hype Williams-ish, it's not the way you should do it. So he's like, all right, we're gonna go to Jamaica and draw the storyboards.
Right.
One, I would already be timeout if I was an executive. What do you mean you're going where?
What, you going
And so we went to Jamaica and drew storyboards for a day. And then spent the rest of our time like jet skiing.
Smart.
A full Hype Williams special, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Now you also, you were known for flipping, you kind of inverted the letterbox on the music videos.
Well, what are you talking, my opening? Or?
The openings, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so I started like this. My editor at the time, Cat Brown, he came up with it. And I think the first thing we put it on was like the Bootylicious remix. And then we just kept on doing it. I remember first he put on Bootylicious, then he put it on Fabulous, Y'all Can't Deny It. I go, oh, that's what we're doing? He goes, yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, okay. But now you just see videos and all kinds of people just do it like a thing. So I had to switch it this way, so keep my mark in mind, you know what I mean?
It's like your thing.
Are you classically trained as a director, or did you teach yourself this? Did you go to school for this?
I got a real hip-hop story. I was an intern, you know what I mean? And then just worked.
Interning where?
Intern for Hype.
Okay.
So I came in as an intern, then I started drawing storyboards. But really, as a director, hanging around wasn't enough. I was on all those big videos with Hype, doing all the things he's doing. But then when I had my first shot, I realized I don't know shit.
Right.
So then I had to go to the bookstore and just buy every book I could on directing, cinematography, hair, makeup, just everything. And just, you gotta learn it. Whether you go to school and learn it or you go and do it yourself, there's nothing, at some point you're gonna have to sit down with some technical shit. Do technical stuff, because you have to speak a language.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because when we on shoots and shit, motherfuckers are like, yo, color balance, 68G.
Yeah.
What about, and then one dude with the whiteboard and shit. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's a whole other language. We're telling jokes and like, oh, 120 frames every day. And then we'll laugh. What are you? Yeah, it's another world.
How did that experience working on Belly get you ready for directing Superfly?
I mean, Belly was just such a very different thing from beginning to end. I don't know what I can take from Belly and apply to anything else, because nothing's like Belly. I mean, like you remember those days, everyone had a bootleg of Belly.
Oh yeah.
Like I had a copy of Belly from VHS. Like there was VHSs just floating everywhere, eventually got in the hood. I mean, some of those VHSs were probably better than the movie because we had the music we wanted versus music we could afford.
Yeah,
it just was nuts.
And visually, it was just like some totally different shit.
You can't talk to Belly. When it comes visually, you can't speak to Belly. It was really something why I think people still hold on to it and still remember it so well, because it was a piece of visual art.
Right.
So you excited about the feature film route, or like, is there any pressure you feel? Is there like, you know?
I mean, I learned back. I did a TV show, and because you spend your time when you come out of music videos and all the film and television people are like, oh, well, this is different. oh, this is a whole, there's a whole,
This is just cars and chains.
exactly. So I came and I did my first TV show, Lost Girl, and I didn't quite go all the way. And then I was done, I'm like, this is exactly the same shit that we've been doing. All right. And then I was able to, so fuck you all, you all don't know. It's not that we don't know, you don't know what we do. Right. So yeah, I'm good.
Okay, what made you want to remake the movie Superfly?
Well, I didn't want to remake the movie Superfly. Silver Pictures, Joel Silver. You know, he's Matrix, Predator, Weird Science, Warriors, Commando, Die Hard. Fuck, what else are we missing? I mean, V for Vendetta.
Every movie that's on comes on Wednesday night and shit.
So he loves black culture. He loved this era. And there's this it went through like a 20-year journey for us to get to this point. You know, he had the rights to Superfly. They took it to a studio. Studio said, we'll make it. We just don't want to call it Superfly or to be about anything that Superfly was about.
Right.
So like, okay. But you know, that Hollywood shit, like where they just would take the thing you love and just not make the thing you love.
Gotcha.
So then they wrote a script that was based on King Lear. So there's this King Lear script called Superfly, but then they lost the rights to Superfly, so they named it something else. Then a few years later, they get the rights back to Superfly and they put it back on the King Lear script, and then I get the phone call, hey, we want to make Superfly. So I'd never seen Superfly, but I knew that Superfly was about a drug dealer who wanted to make $1 million to get out.
Right.
I don't know where I heard that. I don't know how, but that's the power of Superfly. Like you don't know.
Even if you didn't see it.
Yeah, you just have all this information about this movie. It's just it's just in the ether. So I'm reading the script, and their version, their priest wants to get deeper in the game. So I'm reading the script, and on top, it was just really violent. It was just crazy. I'm like, y'all, this isn't Superfly.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do it, I want to make Superfly. So they said, all right, let's do it. So we went and got the movie and really broke it down and really said, okay, who are the characters? What are the events? What are the things we have to do to make Superfly? You know what I mean? So what you will see is completely based in the original movie. All the same characters are back. Major story points still continue. We've made changes. Some of the changes we've made are just for the day and age. You know what I mean? There's certain storylines don't quite flow.
Right.
And then other ones,
Payphones.
yeah, exactly. You know, payphones, and like one of the main ones is, you've seen the trailer where you see these guys in all white. In the original movie, Priest gets attacked by some junkies and they rob him. This is like one of the first things that happens in the movie. Right. And so when we said, all right, this is the inciting incident, but I don't believe a big-time drug dealer in Atlanta, because if he wants to get out and make millions of dollars, he ain't gonna be around junkies to get robbed. So we said, all right, well, what is it about the junkies? Well, the junkies were part of the drug world. They're part of the drug game. So we expanded that out and said, well, instead of getting attacked by junkies, what if he gets attacked by rival dealers? And if they're rival dealers, then we started talking about Atlanta as well. What if they're flashy and they're flamboyant? What if they're symbolically BMF? Like, they're just out. Like, yeah, this is what we do, what y'all gonna do type of attitude. So that brought in a group of guys we call Snow Patrol.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I thought you were gonna say Migos, but
the snow. So when you see the trailer, you see the guys in all white. That's Snow Patrol. They wear all white. They drive white cars. They have white guns. They have a white house. The white furniture is just, again, it's symbolically the symbolic flashy drug dealer. You know, like with a horrible cover story. Why do you have a Bentley? I'm a rapper.
I rap and I have a washing machine store.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah.
Is it close enough to the BMF story that you might get a phone call?
Nah, I mean, it's just, again, symbolically the idea that, you know.
Don't get that phone call from Meech like, yo.
Yo, what up? Nah, we don't have like, you know, zoo animals at our birthday party or anything like that. Or there's no billboard. There's no billboard. We should have done it though. We should have put the billboard in the movie. That would have been.
That'd been the flex.
Yeah. Snow Patrol
when they did
forever.
that was like, whoa, okay, wow.
Unbelievable.
If you guys don't know, Google BMF Atlanta.
Yeah.
Things going on. How did the major player in Atlanta hip hop scene show support for the film? They
Definitely. Rick Ross has a scene in the movie. Big Boy plays a significant role in the film. Yeah, man, shout out Big Boy. People love when they see him on screen. Everyone gets excited. Yeah. You know, we did a test screening, and when Big Boy came on, everyone started cheering, and the chairman of Sony was like, "What? Who's that? What? Who's that person?" Yeah. So. Yeah, man, you know, we got to do it. If it's Atlanta, you got to do it.
Oh, you got a show coming to VICELAND?
I have a show coming to VICELAND called Mr. Tachyon. It's a very different kind of thing. So Mr. Tachyon is a docuseries. It's a science experiment show. The way I describe it, like my elevator pitch would be if Iron Man hosted Mythbusters. So that's it. So Mr. Tachyon's father, that's Mr. Tachyon's father. Dr. Tachyon turned himself invisible in a lab experiment.
Oh shit.
Right, so that happens and he goes home to see his wife. He's turned himself invisible, and then 9 months later,
She still smashed while he was invisible?
Yeah.
She a freak. Oh,
mean,
wow.
So that's Mr. Tachyon, right? So he's born invisible. So Mr. Tachyon is searching for a cure, and this is just a little vehicle to get us into the science that we do. So we're doing very real science on the fringe side of science. So we have a whole episode on alternative medicine. We have an episode on mind over matter. We have an episode on, like energy healing. We have all those things that people believe. And that was my motivation. There's a whole realm of things, and you say, oh yeah, I take red reishi for my psoriasis. They go, oh, I believe that.
Right.
No, it's not a belief. I take it and it works. It's true. Yeah, I believe that. So I wanted to do something that took us out of belief and dealt in it is or isn't. So, we have an active group and a control group, and we do the interviews. And there's really some of the things that you think are real are not, don't give us results. And
Such as what? Give us an example.
I don't want to. In the energy healing episode, we do an experiment with a very popular form of energy healing, and the active group and the control group are precisely the same. But then we do things like remote viewing. And remote viewing is something where you would say, like, you're visualizing someone somewhere, and you're visualizing where they are, or what they're doing, and you begin to see it, and things like that. And our remote viewing exercise gives some results that ain't.
Yeah.
Was it weed involved? Because I've been remote viewing the shit out of everything, bro, when I'm high. I'm like,
You might, now after that, you might be like, oh, you're gonna have to start wondering what you write about, what you're not. But yeah, so there's some stuff that we do is really, really interesting. We shot it up in Canada with VICELAND in Canada. So whenever we needed to do anything, we just send an email out to the office. Who wants to be part of Organite experiment? And people will come in. So anytime, anybody, if you want to do anything weird in the office at that point, you just say you're doing it for Tachyon. You want to bring something in you shouldn't bring, or it's like, oh yeah, it's Tachyon. Okay, go ahead.
I got 4 camels for Tachyon.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there anything that, like you said, you started off as an intern? At what moment did you realize, like, yo, this is my career. This is what I'm gonna do. Did you set out on that path?
I knew I wanted to be a director, but I think the moment that I knew I made the right choice is I was cleaning the office late at night, and I found a budget for one of the videos that Hyper did, and I saw the director's pay. It said $10,000, and I said, oh, well, this was a right choice for me. All right now, okay, let's keep moving in this direction.
They no longer are doing those big budget videos the way they used to back in the day.
No.
What was the biggest budget you ever had?
$1 million for the Thong Song remix.
Yo, is that on YouTube?
It is. It's the bag of debauchery. Because you remember the first Thong Song video.
Yeah,
and everyone was like, where's the ass? What are you doing? Everyone's upset. So this is $1 million apology for yeah, bro. It was.
Who was on? I forgot who was on this remix.
Foxy. Foxy does the verse.
Oh shit.
Foxy does the verse.
I hope she doesn't do any math.
Yeah, and this, I don't know if this is my version without, because we did it on a movie soundtrack. So there's a version with movie footage in it, and then there's a version with none, the director's cut. You definitely want to find the director's cut of this thing. We shot in Baltimore, we shot in Los Angeles. It was insane. I was pretty sure this video was going to karmically earn me a daughter. I had a son, and somehow I did a matrix on it, but I was positive, like, all right, little girls for me, eh?
Oh wow,
yeah.
Yo.
So wait, you discovered Melissa Ford?
Melissa Ford was dating my best friend's older brother. So we had a video, we brought it down, and next thing you know, I unleashed Melissa Ford on the world.
Wow.
Yo, shit. He's like, yo, good looking.
Now, Sean Paul Get Busy video gave us the classic line, "Stop banging on the damn furnace." Who was that old guy in the video? Was that scripted?
It's just from life, man. Growing up in
unfinished
Toronto,
baby, yes.
Brampton, going to house parties in Brampton. You know, then you would eventually, there'd be a basement party. And
unfinished basement, yes.
You bang on the furnace, and then the man who owns the house come down and kick everyone out for banging. So this was just slice of life. This was
Look at my
just
uncle.
some guy, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Uncle Winston.
Yeah.
Delroy, one of them.
Delroy, but everyone called him Smokey.
Yeah, Walford. You know what I mean? One of them real West Indian name, yeah. You know what I mean? Lennox, one of his uncle, yeah. So, You know, it was that was a moment though. That whole Sean Paul moment was really something to bring island culture into the mainstream. And it was the beginnings of in Toronto. See, now you're seeing the results. So Drake and all those guys were kids when this was happening. But suddenly, you know, some girl you go to school is like dancing in a Sean Paul video, and that kid you know is like suddenly they were seeing themselves on TV. And till then, you know, growing in Canada, you really feel like a stepchild. You feel like no one's watching. You know what I mean? It's like this place.
Right.
And then it was the big bubblings of, oh, maybe this little thing I'm doing could actually go somewhere. So it was, I felt like a guidance counselor with these kids, you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely.
Does it bum you out to see now, like you were saying, like there's no more big, like epic music videos being produced?
I mean, it evens out. So back in those days, it took a lot of money to make music. You needed film, you needed all this stuff. Now people can do something amazing with their phone. And there's some people who really just use their phone and do incredible work. So I feel on one side we get way more creativity, but the price of that is that we don't get those big videos. And we also on TV, you know, we were competing against other television programs.
Right.
So it's, I mean, I think that was a special time when I really realized human nature is actually for good. Because when you gave us $1 million, we was entertaining our asses off. We were jumping out of airplanes, blowing shit up, riding elephants, you know what I mean? Like we really wanted to put on a good show. So, you know, but here we are, man. It is what it is.
All right, you went from X to Little X to Director X?
It was always Little X.
It was always Little X.
And then I went for a moment when I was kind of playing, I'd put X, I'd do a different version. I was doing all these different things with my name.
Right.
And then finally, you know, once I really hit my 30s, like I can't be Little X.
Right.
This is enough. Let me
You have to get my face tattoo?
Yeah, it's enough. So Director X.
Is this your final form?
This is it.
All right.
I mean, Director X sounds like in a movie, Director X is...
Sounds like a...
He gives you the mission, you know what I'm saying? It's like a shadowy figure.
Well, you know, let's get to maybe executive producer X, you know what I mean? Like,
Big Boss X. You know what I'm saying? Hey, maybe I'm not done.
Hey,
you guys
Senior Vice President X, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you go, there's possibilities. You're right. I didn't think about all this.
How'd you come up with that name? Is your name Xavier or some shit?
No. It was the age. I got the X name in the age of X Clan and when everyone, and Malcolm X and Public Enemy, so everyone was black
RGB
and conscious.
and all that stuff,
right.
yeah.
So being the light-skinned nigga that I am, I was the blackest motherfucker in the room. Actually, you know, our people been oppressed. So check out Little X over here. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? That grew into that and then got where it's gonna be. You know? Yeah.
Got you.
Not everyone knows that the lightest motherfucker in the room is going.
It's going hardest, bro. I know.
It's always been that way.
Always been that way.
I'll be hanging out with Jesse Williams. I know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shit. Director X, what would you like your rainbow to say?
Well, Superfly, June 13th.
June 13th.
You know what I mean?
You know,
Wide theatrical release.
What do you think in opening weekend? Let's throw some numbers.
I mean, listen.
Come on,
150 million.
Happy.
150
I'm
million.
West Indian and superstitious, bro. I don't like.
You want the devil to hear it?
Yeah, man.
There you go. I hear you. Yo, check out Superfly, man. Director X out here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Done it all.
You're watching the Desus and Mero YouTube channel, stupid.
Click to watch more videos and clips.
Subscribe, please, please, please.
Click and comment.